And if you are a part of an indivisible or a 50-51 swing left, etc., we would appreciate that information. Thank you.
Yeah. And just a note to everybody, we have started the live video. If you do not wish to have your photo shown um, on our videos that
Be
we
an
put
hour.
on our website.
Give her some food, maybe.
Oh,
Well, I've given
oh, somebody's talking over me.
I apologize.
Oh, okay. Um, so if you do not want to have your photo shown on the video, please just turn your video off. These will be available at the NWSOFA.org uh, website under our YouTube channel. You just go to that and then click on the area that says live. Okay.
All right. Well, now, sorry about that. Co-hosts were not muted when I muted all. So today we are going to have a special guest speaking on podcasts. And I'm going to hand it over to Stephanie to get us started.
Well, we are very excited today to have a wonderful special guest who is going to talk to us about what it means to do a podcast. And it is hands-on in the sense that we're watching her, and it's how to in the sense of she's going to tell us from, I'm going to call it cradle to grave, idea to posting, what it's like to do a podcast. So there's going to be some listening, some showing, and maybe some engaging. So she's got a piece of software she selected. She's going to tell us about that. Sabrina is wonderful. Happens to be a furloughed federal worker. So we're going to take use of all her skills while she's got them to donate to us. She is also a longtime friend of Cecilia's. So they've got a little shtick they can work from doing plays together and all sorts of fascinating things. So without further ado, I am going to turn this over to Sabrina and ask her. The other thing, just so you know, the other thing we're going to do today is when they're done, this will probably be a half an hour or so. We are going to talk about Linktree, something we haven't mentioned yet, but we've started using. We want to introduce you to it so that you understand some of the changes that are coming to you. So, all right, Sabrina, at 3, 2, 1, take it away.
Okay. Hey, as she said, I'm Sabrina. I live in near Pensacola in Florida. And about maybe 6 months ago or something, maybe a little longer. Gosh, time flies. I had been supporting another mother who was going through some of the things with her profoundly autistic child that I was going through. And so we were communing back and forth because when you have a child with profound autism, um, there is often aggression involved. And so I was trying to be supportive for her and everything. And so we both watched the Karen Reed trial. And we just like talking about it back and forth. She's like, we should do a podcast on Karen Reed. I was like, no way, girl. There's tons of those. Let's do a podcast on profound autism. And she was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And the reason we did it is for about 10 years now, maybe longer, I've been wanting to share my experience of being a caregiver of a child with profound autism. And the reason is because a lot of that lifestyle is hidden. We don't go out in public because we're afraid they'll have a meltdown, which means they're going to probably hit, kick, maybe break something. Cops might get involved. Like it is really scary when your child starts to be aggressive to go out in public. So you start hiding, you start doing, all the things you would think you would do, order your groceries before you go get them, hope they don't beat you up while you're waiting. That has happened to me. And so it's just this whole life that nobody knows about because we hide it, right? And it's hard to share. So we started a podcast. where we talk about being caregivers of profoundly autistic children. And we make jokes and stuff because that's how you survive this, making jokes. Um, and so we started this podcast and we started looking into everything. And she found this website called Riverside. And it is an amazing website. I'm going to share my screen so that y'all can see. Um, there we go. Oh no, why isn't this letting me? Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. My Mac likes to lock me out, so it's not letting me share my screen. So just give me 1 second. Oops.
And that would be the how-to hands-on part of the segment. You're perfect. You are right where we all always are. So you're doing wonderfully. The
So
key is to
yeah,
be able to narrate that stuff while you're getting yourself out of it so everyone picks up a
right.
tip.
Yeah, so one of the things that I will say is that you have to be able to have a topic that you care a lot about and that you can sit there and think of at least, 10 to 12. Um, okay, it's gonna knock me off. I'll come right back. So hold on. Wait, is it letting me do it now? Oh, nope, nope, it didn't make me go off. Anyway, they said to have at least 10 to 12 topics ready on what you were interested in so that you would have enough. Like if you can't, they were like, if you can't even um there. Can you all see this?
Yes.
Okay. If you can't even come up with 10 to 12 episodes, then you likely don't have, you need to keep working on it and find kind of like the niche that fits with you and what you can talk about. The average number, I've looked this up, the average time given for these is about 40 minutes. So most of them last about 40 minutes, maybe an hour, and you pick how often you want to do it. Once a week, once a month. I will say when you first start out, aim for once a month. It's a lot of work and it takes a lot of like editing and everything else. So I would start out with promising myself once a month. That's probably a decent amount once you kind of get comfortable with everything. Um, yeah, so basically what happens is you get an account and there are free accounts, but they're very limited. There are standard accounts, which I think cost about $15 a month. They're somewhat limited. We went with the pro account. It's $24 a month, and there's a higher one that's like a business account. I don't necessarily know all the differences. We just kind of went with the pro because it fit what we needed at the time, but
Can you
it's
tell
all
us what software you're using, Sabrina?
yeah, it's a website called riverside.fm.
Riverside. Sorry.
hmm Yeah, if you Google Riverside, it'll come up. Um, or Riverside Podcast, whatever. But anyway, so what you get on and you just send out a link to whoever you want to be on it, and it can be multiple people. And so they just click the link, and assuming they have, they have to have everything you could do for a Zoom or whatever, camera. They don't even really need a microphone. They can have those earbuds with the microphone in it. So basic equipment, you don't need a lot. You don't even probably need the microphone. You might even be able to record just with a computer. We have not tried that, but they have some things that I'll show you at the end that kind of help with if there's like issues or whatever. So yeah, you just send the link and you get on there. And this is one of these are the projects that we've done. And I'll click on the one with Remy. Remy is Cassie, my co-podcaster, her daughter, who is neurotypical, 7 years old, and she has two children that have autism that are both older than Remy. They are, um, I think like 7 and 9 or 7 and 10. And one has a milder form of autism, but then she also has the older one that has profound autism, and he's currently in a residential facility because of his aggression. They weren't able to manage his aggression. So we talk about all these things um, on the podcast, and it's just a recording. You can do video or audio. It does video initially. I didn't like editing with the video, and so we just started with audio. So we'll have the video here, but the audio will actually be all that we export from this conversation. So once I do all the edits, it'll just be an audio for us. We found that easier, but certainly video is an option. It does the video automatically. So you just pick at the end when you're doing your editing what you want. So you click it on, you hit record, everybody, gets, you start asking their questions and all that kind of stuff and just get the dialogue going. And what I usually do is I just write a list of questions, even if it's just going to be me and Cassie talking, things that I want to talk about, or I'll ask her questions about to get it out because there's certain things I want people to hear about. And we know each other well enough that we can kind of ask those questions. So that's what I always do. You want to prep, you want to have those questions ready, because it does keep it going. Like I've noticed that Cassie and I talk a lot, and so we kind of get off onto tangents sometimes. So it really helps us stay on task. So I don't have an hour and 30 minutes where I'm trying to make it into an hour, which is really hard, by the way. Um,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Sabrina, is that hard because you don't want to cut anything out, or hard because the software, it's just, there's too much content. You're so passionate about what you're
yeah,
doing that it's just difficult to narrow down, gosh, should I exclude that kind of stuff. So it's decisions that are hard.
yeah. And
Okay.
Cassie and I are very colorful people. And sometimes we use colorful language. And so I always have to like ask myself, like, do I want to leave that in that we said? Because I think it's funny, but it also might be offensive. But it's more offensive just because of it's a little crass sometimes, but we do our best. So, but yeah, it's just what you want to leave in and not. So that's the hardest thing with the editing is deciding what fits and what doesn't. Um, that is literally the hardest thing. The editing takes a while, but they have tools to make it much faster. So, for example, on this one, I'll just go ahead and, oops, I want to edit. Sorry, I accidentally pushed play. Okay, so I hit edit, and this is what they give you. So you've done your recording. Um, FYI, something I learned: do not pause recording, even if somebody falls off, because if you do, it will mess up your timing thing. Just keep recording it. What happens is the video downloads onto each individual person's computer. So their portion downloads to their computer, and then it uploads it back from your computer onto the website. And then you can send a link. If, for example, they shut off before it gets fully uploaded, you can send a link, it'll finish uploading it. So it's not a problem there. That's why I'm saying just don't hit pause. Just keep recording until you're done. Um, okay, so this is what it looks like. Cassie and I do not do. We do not look fancy when we do this. One of the reasons it's only audio right now. Sorry, Cassie, for showing this. But anyway, so you'll see pictures. It should have dual. I must have clicked it to stop being dual somehow. Oh, there we go. Um, and you go through and it has the whole thing transcribed over here.
Mm.
And so if you want to cut something out, you can literally just like highlight this and hit delete, and you won't hear it. That portion will be deleted. You can also mute. So if you don't want to delete that whole section, maybe you just want one of the people to be quiet because you both talked at the same time or whatever reason, you can actually mute it too. So that the other person, so let's say I want to mute myself, you'll still hear Cassie, you just won't hear me anymore. And that happens because like noises in the background. Sometimes I just cut it off. So that's how you can edit yourself. I never use the correct, whatever. It's to change the wording because occasionally they get the wrong word. But unless you're downloading the transcript, which we don't, I don't worry about it because it sounds fine on the video. Anyways, you can go in, you can cut whole sections of this out. I mean, you just click on it and then there are different things. I won't get into all the details, but it's easy to edit is what I'm saying. And they actually have these AI tools over here. And I think you're limited to a certain number each month. I'm not really sure. But it'll remove pauses. You just hit apply. It'll remove filler words, fluff. It'll even cut parts. It'll make recommendations to cut part of the conversation if they're like, this is boring, or this doesn't fit. You can cut that out, and it'll ask you, do you want to cut this? Um, and then it'll do magic audio, which clears out the sound. So like a couple of times, like I lost this plug-in for my microphone, and so I just used my headphones. Yeah, it didn't work as well. I was very quiet, but the audio magic fixes it. Does it sound? I don't even think you can really tell the difference. And so that's really nice because that um that way it doesn't sound strange because I would be really quiet and she would be really loud, so it evens us out.
Mm.
It can mute the person who's not talking, so that gets rid of any overlap or whatever. I don't totally trust that because sometimes it's like a fill for me, but you can go back and unedit or change any of these edits. These are just the AI stuff, so it does all that for you. It's a really nice feature. And then once you're done, and it automatically saves. So everything you do saves. Um, but it saves as a new file. So like I was editing this one. Oh, no, no, no. You have to save it as a new file. If you save it as a new file. So, uh, but like I said, you can undo any editing you do. Um, and they also have other features that are really, really nice. Like, so I don't know how many of you listen to AI, sorry, not AI, but podcast. But often there's like a little bit of music in that fades in, and then people start talking, and at the end there's a little music that fades out. They have the capability to do all of that. You just add it in on the ends. This is really user friendly. I mean, I'm pretty tech savvy for a lay person, but I'm not like super tech savvy. And I have had very little trouble with this. There are videos and everything else that help you out with it. So it's very easy to use. And then when you're done, so let me go back to projects. It does a couple things for you automatically. So back on the Remy, that was like a hour long conversation. And then it says made for you. So if you click on this, it actually pulls out different little segments for you to quickly upload things to like TikTok and stuff. So poor Cassie and I'm afraid to show. And it even, oh gosh, I'm sorry. So some of this is going to be a little bit off. Keep in mind this is profound autism, but anyway, it'll even name it for you so you kind of know what they're talking about. Um, some of this I don't even know where it gets like we'll say something casually and it'll label it. So you might have to change the labels, but it does create these, short 44-second minute and 10 seconds that you can upload and it just cuts it for you. And of course you watch them and you see if they're appropriate. But I've had a couple of them and I really like them. Cassie and I are just trying to figure out how to do this without showing our faces. And that's mostly because we just haven't been trying too hard to look pretty. So anyway, it has all of these magic clips, which is actually really nice and quick. And again, that means you less editing for you. And you can always go in and edit these as well. And then you can share directly from the site to specific sites. So they've got these different sites. Oh, this is more than I had last time. Awesome. So they've added a bunch of sites, which is amazing because I didn't know this, but we've been using Spotify, but it looks like we can upload to any of these now, which is even better. Um, so you can download. Oh, I don't know why I picked. Sorry, I gotta explain this now. Fecal smearing happens with autistic kids a lot. I think there's a lot of different reasons they get constipated. They don't, whatever. Something happens, they're alone, they don't have their mom. So that happens a lot. It's actually a pretty common thing. So just so you know, that's why that's on there. But anyway, so you can share it. We directly, once we're done with our editing and everything, I directly upload it to Spotify, quick and easy. I fill in a little information. Oh, it even gives you, it'll take me 1 second to figure out where, but it'll even give you like little synopsis of different videos and stuff. So you don't even have to write that. It'll just do a synopsis of your whole video. I use those all the time because they're very well done. And then I can just like plop that into Spotify, edit, and then go. So they make it really easy. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if I have to click on it. Sorry. I haven't looked at the words in a minute. But anyway, it's in here somewhere. You'll have to play around and figure it out. But yeah, I think that's everything. Any questions?
So let's frame what you just did for a minute. So you went from
Okay,
start to
sorry.
finish really fast and really effectively. So you started out with you have to have an idea.
Mr. RBT spoke about it. I said he
Oh,
has
sorry.
That's okay. I wait once I hear noise. We
Mhm.
all sort it out. So you started out with an idea, and that took you
Mhm.
some time. Then you had to make a decision if you thought podcasting was right for you. You found
Yeah.
the right software, which we have touched on because today was, in a lot of respects, concept. And we will get to actually starting a podcast. I'll set up a free account. We'll do some actual hands on live fire stuff. But in order to think about this, you have to know if you have something to say.
Mhm.
So for every 40 minutes of podcasting, how much preparation does it take?
Well, so it's going to depend a lot. For me, the prep isn't hard because we don't pull in like science or anything. We haven't gotten to that point. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I'm trying not to be
You're two
controversial.
chicks talking.
Yeah, we really are. So,
Okay.
With
like I said,
experience, though.
Well,
huh?
yeah, don't misunderstand what I
Right.
mean by that.
Oh
Yes, of
yeah, no, no,
course.
no. I'm fine. Actually, like I said, I write out a list of either topics or direct questions I'm going to ask. Like for example, the one that I showed you, we're starting to interview more people because I think that'll be a more interesting way to get some of this information out there. So for example, um, we interviewed Remy, the 7-year-old daughter, about what it's like to have a brother who has profound autism. And we're
Sure.
going to interview my 27-year-old son now that we have the 7-year-olds. We're going to interview my 27-year-old because, he's been through it and he's an adult now and he's looking at it from a much different place. There's a hairdresser who went through. So, like, for me to develop this idea, it has to be something your heart is just all about. And I have thought about this for 10 years, thinking about a website, a blog, whatever it would be. So if you have anything like that you've been thinking about, this is a great opportunity to get it out there. And of course, with politics, there's so much you can do. And I think there's like a really great opportunity for some like really positive politics, like, talking about negative things in a like way that isn't aggressive or combative. I guess.
In a way that works for whoever is doing the delivery. So, I mean, yeah, what you didn't talk a lot about the publishing component. And what I mean by that is, so it'd be great to make one of these, but how do we actually get it somewhere so people can see it? Maybe focus on that for just a minute.
Yep, it's really easy. They make it really easy. So you have two options. You can either download directly to your computer, and if you are an editor and already have editor stuff, or you've done things in the past with certain editing apps, you can download it to your computer and edit away. I use Riverside because I've never done anything like this before, and they make it easy. But you can also share directly. So you can either upload the file like you would any other time if you're posting on,
Blue
Spotify
sky.
or whatever,
Yeah.
or you can just share directly and you literally just push the button and it says, and oh, well, the flip side, sorry, you're right. I did leave
Good.
out one little
Yeah.
thing. You have to create a creator's account. So if we're
There
like,
you go.
sorry, I did forget that. It's been a minute since I set this
That's
up.
okay.
Good question.
We have a good
Yeah,
MC.
so you set up a creator's account on Spotify. Sorry. I think I'm just so used to TikTok and YouTube and stuff that or TikTok mainly.
But it has to have a place. It has to be in a repository. Spotify gives you a place to publish. Tell us
Yes,
about that.
Spotify. You just create a creator's account.
Okay.
And then when you go to upload it, it asks for your login for your creator's account. You log in, throw it up there, put your information on the side. It has box that asks you questions like, what's the title? What I don't really even remember like who's involved. It's been a minute. I can't remember all the questions, but anyway, and then it has like the form where you fill out what is this about, like a short blurb. And then you just hit publish. That's it.
Is it free to create a creator's account?
Yep.
Okay. What can you
On
do that might
Spotify,
get, yeah, Go ahead.
We've
Sorry.
exclusively used Spotify, and really, they aren't charging. It's more like when can you make money off of it?
Yeah.
And that's usually what people are thinking about. So yeah, the creator, at least for Spotify, and I think for everything, because I mean TikTok and stuff is obviously free.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure YouTube is too. But anyway, yeah, you just upload it. You have an account, like just like with TikTok or whatever, you have a dedicated account. Now with Spotify, you do create a creator's account, but for the others, it's just the regular uploads.
Well, that's good to know because it'd be sad if somebody had all this content and nowhere to publish it. So what I think we wanted to do today was talk about, okay, I have an idea. I have some software I've come up with, and this is where I publish to get folks thinking. And if you are amiable, we'll ask you to come back again.
Oh yeah,
Not that we're
absolutely.
done. I'm just thinking, I'm thinking ahead for planning on this, that we could actually do a little segment and actually render some stuff. So Cecilia, I see Cecilia, and I'll shut up because Cecilia's got something to say.
No, I have nothing to say.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
asking, please come back.
Yes.
Please.
Oh yeah, I definitely will. And I mean, I love doing this, so I am happy to help. I think it's like this whole new area. I've actually thought about getting a master's degree just because there's like so much to learn.
Yeah.
Hey, good. That's
Excellent.
lovely. We'd
Yeah.
love to be a part and parcel to your master's degree. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Well,
Yeah.
you and Cecilia think about how we might script this because I'm going to be a lousy involver unless I know what to do. In other words, if you said to me contemporaneously make a podcast, I'd have to struggle. I suspect you two could just riff and we'd have a good podcast.
I think that's probably true.
So let's think about that going forward. I think that's the
We
relevant.
would I mean, we could probably write things down. We would need to write things down first, but we could still improv. Improv was a wonderful way. I love improv.
And
Oh my
maybe
gosh,
only
what am I
yeah,
talking about?
and maybe only do a couple of minutes because that way we'd get something that would render quick so that we could look at what that might look like. I'll make some noises in the background. So I think we can absolutely, if there's any interest. I mean, I see enough, but we do these things based on demand.
Okay.
So rock on.
So I would
Okay.
say if you're thinking about doing anything, if anybody is thinking about like, oh, this sounds fun, whatever, think about what you want to talk about. So that's going to be the first one. It's going to be like a brain session of like, what am I going to talk about?
I desperately want grounds for conversation, a group from the morning crew to get together on like just on a
On a
rotation, right? And
Mhm.
then Grounds for Justice, that's our Bruce, Ori, and Jose bringing us court cases updates.
Oh, that'd be great.
And um then ground there was another shoot off an offshoot and I have it in my book somewhere. But
but you have ideas.
I have ideas, y'all, and I think this is a really good next step. So I when I
I'm
think
thrilled.
about
I'm
it, I just get
happy.
all this energy, and so
You tingle, and I'm happy to be your showrunner. So
Yeah.
we are good. There's going to be a little technical support that's necessary, but I think it's a magnificent idea. You coordinate the talent, and I'll make sure we've got the infrastructure, and we'll teach everybody while we're doing it. So I
okie
think that
doke.
if you build it, they will come, right? So I'm thrilled. I think it's
That's it.
exciting. Sabrina's magnificent. Thank you so much for being willing to come on, be vulnerable. I see Bill. Yes, Bill.
Hmm. Oh, Bill,
I have,
there you go.
I have a question. Um, so after you get done with your podcast, what do you do with it? How do you send it?
Right. So once you're done, you've got everything edited and have everything you want to go. I'm going to pull this up again just so you guys can
Excellent.
see because it's so easy and I don't want anybody to think like, oh, that sounds difficult. Um,
First, you create a creator account so that you can do this.
A
yeah.
creator account,
So
okay.
when you go to share it though, it gives you options. So you can share it directly. So it gives you all of these options and I'll click on Spotify. And it goes, okay, what do you want to do? Normalize audio levels. I usually do that. Sometimes I do that. And you'll hear it before, like, it'll do export video. And so it'll export, and then you go up here. Oops. And you'll find it in your exports. I really should have walked through this. Sorry. Um, the things you
Okay.
do and you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Um, so it'll get exported here, and then yeah, you just share directly to, let's say, Spotify.
Important
It
point.
takes
You
me
you
here.
have to have made a Spotify account
Yep.
as a creator in
Yep.
order to be able to do this. Sabrina Bill hasn't published on YouTube, but since we have a YouTube channel, publishing podcasts to it when ready may be a reasonable venue for those conversations. It'll work
Okay.
the same way, just different.
And I was thinking very personally about when we do our podcast, then we can just share it to like YouTube as you just said, or then we can share it to our Substack account. Is that
First, yeah, first you have to put it in a play repository. So when we're talking about Spotify or YouTube, what we've done is we have taken what was created locally and uploaded it to one of those platforms that know how to display it and play it to the public through interfaces that they know. That could be Spotify first, so that it's rendered and playable. Then the link to the Spotify play is what you would post in Substack. And that would
okay?
render the same way others do. Does that make sense?
Okay, so I could do that. Cecilia could do that for her from her coffee grounds groups, and you know, different of our organization could do that.
Yes, this is forward thinking. This is vision forward tech.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This was extremely helpful, and I will ask all these questions tomorrow again.
That's okay.
That's
Listen,
Or
it took me
I'll
a while.
or I'll look at the video, which will be ready in just a few minutes.
All right. And
Cecilia, we don't have any more questions. What's next? You've got our show.
oh, I do.
Okay.
Um,
Well, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Linktree now.
right, we are moving on to Linktree
Is there
to
anything we want to do in between?
we were going to do a quick AMA
Okay.
because I promised someone, I'm not sure if she was able to pop in, but I told someone at my meeting last night to pop in about halfway through to ask that we would do an AMA. Maria, if you're here and you want help,
Raise your
now's the
hand.
time to ask. Raise your hand. Yes? No?
I don't see anything.
All right. Nope, nope, nope. We're moving on to Linktree then.
Okay.
Okay.
This is another vision forward tech that you're getting exposed to in terms of both a tool that you can use and a tool that we have deployed in the last 7 days for NWSOFA. So Cecilia is going to take Cecilia and Adrian, who are here to dutifully and wonderfully assist, are going to take care of that now.
Okay. Adrian, can you pull the Linktree up, perhaps? Is that possible?
Yeah, let me get on that.
All right. So as she's pulling that up, what the Linktree is, y'all, is a one-stop shop for NWSOFA. If you haven't heard me say that already, well, I just did. Um, so it's really just to help us make it easy for people to find their way around all the goodies we have for everyone, right? And it's really easy for us too, y'all. It has everything. It has our Blue Sky, it has our Instagram, it has our Substack, it has but our Facebook, it has everything on it. Our website, it's got it all.
I think of
And
it kind of like a switchboard.
a
If you were,
switchboard.
I mean, it is a one-stop shop. If you were calling NWSOFA, what would you want to know? And this is a visual electronic, since we've moved so much to that. It is an electronic switchboard for NWSOFA shopping.
The only
Are you guys seeing my screen? I
no,
attempted to share screen. Okay.
not
Then
yet.
I'm gonna just post it in the chat.
Well, the only thing that we didn't put on it was Discord, right? And that's because the invite expires. Right. Okay. So, and here's the thing, y'all. We're adding so many things, which is great. It's wonderful that we have all of these wonderful ways to explore and these new platforms to get people to NWSOFA. Um, and but we need them to be able to to get there, and Linktree makes it easy for us to be able to have it all in one place. So there it is. Okay, so if you want, you can just take a look at that little.
Can you share that, Cecilia,
I
on the
bet
big
I
screen?
can. Hold on. Yes, yes, I can. All
Because
right.
I got to tell you, I didn't know what this was a week ago, and now I'm totally in love with it.
I thought you would be. All right.
We,
Can y'all
we
see
all
it?
knew you would be, Bill.
Okay. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okie doke. All right. So at the top here, you see new here, sign up. And that is what we want everybody who has never been to NWSOFA or anything at all. We want them to go right there and to sign in. And that will get them at least their foot in the door and their name in our system. And then the what's next, that takes them straight to our front page so that they can see what's next. And then we have our Substack, Blue Sky, YouTube, Facebook, and then find Zoom meeting options, which are we going in? Are we being John Malkovich? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yes, you are on your way. Just don't
Oh,
just don't
okay.
say yes. You're
Okay.
good.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot what I was doing. Um, sorry about that, y'all. Anyway, yeah. So the 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 Zoom meeting options help you find a Zoom meeting and
Maybe go
um
back one step. Go back one
oh,
step in
go
that.
back. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
okay.
because what you've done is you've essentially registered for a meeting.
Oh, right, right,
So
right.
this is the landing link for all registration. So what it does is it gives you a starting point to see that NWSOFA has a Zoom. If you keep registering, it will take you through and it will actually register you for a meeting and then give you the links that you need to find the rest of the meeting. So you have to kind of pick one place where you're going to land. This was it. So yes, it drops you straight into a registration page.
Okie doke. Yeah, we all know this. If
Yes, we've lived on this page.
we have lived here. Okie
And
doke.
we will continuously be working behind the scenes to sort out anything that didn't quite get just right. It was done really fast. So
That is true. That is true. Okay, where did I go? How do I get out of here? Uh-oh. Ah,
where's your, did you eliminate your link tree?
I did eliminate my link tree.
Okay, well, let's fix that.
I'll just stop sharing.
Yep, go back and get your link tree and come on back in. Let's get that switchboard up there.
Oh no. Ooh.
I can
So
share too if necessary.
while we're working on a little bit of our process, which is totally fine, there have been a couple of good suggestions in the chat. So just want to say Elizabeth is saying that she uses the link to the link tree for her kind of enclosures and emails as her sign off.
Mm.
So I think that's a great way of getting it out. If anybody wants to use either the link tree or the QR code in any of their social media posts, etc., maybe people in the chat may have other ideas about disseminating the information.
I was able to grab the link and share if we
Thank
were,
you, because I
depending
have
upon how.
lost my link tree.
No problem, I'm good. So you're welcome to narrate and I will just sit here.
Thank you. Again, it has gone through my hands and the hands-on.
And it is now in the Ethernet forever.
I'm so sorry, y'all. Hmm.
Okay, so we were on Substack. Oh, Debbie has a
Oh,
question.
Debbie. Yes, ma'am. Here.
Mute. There we go. Got unmuted.
Excellent.
I'm so sorry. I got to this page that I'm seeing with the gold bars running across with blue sky and all the other subheadings, but if I go to the Linktree website, how do I find NWSOFA?
My answer is you don't.
Ah,
Adrian, is there any way to navigate this, or do you have to know what you're looking for, which is why we're promoting it?
No, you have to know what you're looking for. It's almost like having a direct invite. So if you wanted to search for a Google Doc, you wouldn't go to Google Docs and then search for your organization or meetup group or whatever. You would need the QR code or the direct link in order to go to this link tree. I don't
okay.
think it would be wise for Linktree to share all subscriber information with the general populace, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes total sense. So if I since I'm brand new to this, how do I find it?
Do you want a link? Like I posted the link to the Linktree a couple times in the chat. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Is,
I'm
is that the
sorry.
piece of information? And then
That's a
Oh,
piece of information,
Adrian,
but
you're breaking up a little bit.
okay, sorry.
It's okay.
The
And
other
I'll
thing is we'll keep posting that. It'll go out in the meeting minutes for coffee and conversation, the emails you get. We did what I would call a soft launch. So we put it into place because we were wanted to make a good welcome for folks for NK2. We got a place to land, but we're still going back and we're piecing together some of the infrastructure and underpinning. So getting this published the same way we do other things will happen once we get into a more broad launch. Does that help everybody with context and such?
and I will post the QR code too.
Oh, there you go. So our goal today was to talk about Linktree, talk about it as a tool, lightly introduce it. So we're into kind of new topics. We kind of go through 3 or 4 weeks of something and then we make a change. So now we're going to talk about some broader tools, but then we always come back around and we talk about the tools we have in place to make sure that there are any questions. So you will continue to see podcasting, you'll continue to see Linktree, you'll continue to see tools that we bring in service of the organization. And ideally, we'll get requests from you because I think we should have a day, a session where we do a little talk about security, where we take that
Yeah.
digital checklist and help everybody know this is what you do when you go to a meeting. But I need to know that there's a need for that because getting everybody geared up to do a presentation that nobody's interested in, not so much fun. So now it's time to hear from you. Linktree questions, podcasting may be a little light on those just because we're going to figure some of that out as we go. But it's up to you. What would you like to anything? I mean, again, I feel like I'm begging for participants. So Alfeo's always good for something to say.
Yes, he is. Alfeo.
Alfeo,
Not that we don't want to put you on the spot or anything.
but
No, actually, I was just asking a question and mainly about the origins of Linktree and what need started the Linktree website or whatever. Just
Adrian,
kind of
sure. Linktree
Uh,
as in the sense of how we are using it, or Linktree as a tool broadly.
yes, as a tool broadly.
Adrian, can
I've
you
never
field
heard
that?
of it before.
Elizabeth might be able to help us. Adrian, Elizabeth, we are taking all comers for
I got it.
origins. Go ahead.
Linktree was started in 2016 by three Australians. Just surfers,
Yeah.
Dudes.
They originally created it as a side project while running a digital marketing agency called Bolster, while worked which worked with musicians and festivals, mate. The idea came out of frustration with constantly updating social media bios, especially on Instagram, which only allowed one link at a time. They built the first version in about 6 hours to give users a single launchpad linking to multiple destinations. Currently serves Alex Zachariah currently serves serves as Linktree CEO and continues to lead the company, which has since grown to tens of millions of users and a multi-billion dollar valuation. There you go.
All right. How does that
That's what I was
translate
looking
into
for.
truth? Okay. So three dudes on the beach decided they needed routing software and they built it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
so with the limitations of a lot of, let's say, short text or text only, sorry, social media, this allows people to post a lot of information. Since it is kind of like a tree, it's branching off of a single, I don't know, packet of data that can be easily delivered. And so it's not as bulky and complex as a website, and it's something that Alfeo, you could post in Instagram, right? Where like your profile doesn't allow very much info, or it only allows very limited info to be posted. You can still post a link to your link tree, and that's a jumping off point for people.
I was just thinking that it's a simple website. So
Very simple. Yes.
you could do this on a website, but that's a lot more work, and I know it because mine's not even up yet.
Oh, we try really hard not to do anything that's already been done for us. Bring in a tool
Mhm.
as long as it's ethical and appropriate to use. We don't code things that we don't have to, Alfeo.
Yes.
Nobody
Yeah.
does.
Elizabeth says it's prettier than just a text signature, and that's a great analogy. I mean, I kind of think of it as something you can use on any social media site as a text signature, except that it has utility.
Mm.
Yeah, I've seen them
Jennifer?
on.
Yep, I unmuted her. Jennifer has a question.
Hey, yeah, well, let me mute my TV so that's not bothering everybody. Okay. Uh, may I use then to put things out on the internet, onto all the various sites, or is this used by people to, let's say you wanted to you had a particular store in mind, for example, that if you look that up, does that bring you to allow you to access that store on all these various social media sites?
Yeah, no, this is just a way, like, this is just how you get to NWSOFA. Like, this is just,
So what's behind this, Jennifer, is a bunch of links. So if you think about instead of posting 19 URLs that took you to Blue Sky and Twitter and what's next page, you publish this so that people can easily push one button and get there rather than having to have the URL or the actual blue underlined text that routes you somewhere. So this is only a routing software, and all of the accounts that you might put here, or using your store metaphor, if I wanted to path someone to shopping versus customer service, I would have one URL for customer service and I would have one URL to shop. So one would take me to a catalog and one would take me to a chat or a link for contacts. Does that help?
So you set it up then for your own uh,
Absolutely.
uses?
Yes. And
This is
we go ahead. I'm sorry.
okay. Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I mean, essentially think of it as like a blank outline for a document. And that document contains all of your destinations and places you want it to go. So you have to map all that out, and then you come in here and essentially put all that in so that the recipient of your link tree can get to places without a lot of trouble. So
Uh-huh.
we were trying to make it easy with a QR code for folks at NK2 to have a welcome. It's like, where do you go once you're there? How do you get engaged? This was our engagement thought.
What other groups have this type of setup? Is it common?
It's real common. Adrian, maybe you can come up with some examples of other places it's used. Not that we're going to show them, but can you think of anybody? We know Elizabeth's using it. Maybe she could tell us.
Um, almost every so yeah, it's a guilty admission, but I'm pretty hooked on Instagram. It's something that my kids joined. And I have a son who's a photographer. And so I keep track of my kids' Instagrams and I enjoy it. So on Insta, lots of people have link trees. There are, more limiting and less limiting social media spheres, like Facebook, I would say, is less limiting, but I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, if I'm going to post something on some public Facebook site, I cannot necessarily post a photograph. I can always post a link to a link tree. So if you're looking at marketing something like your Indivisible group or your business that you own, it may be a much more functional tool for you. I can try to find some examples of link trees that I have on Instagram, but that would be most people, yeah, most people that I see are marketing this way there.
I think if there's interest, we'll come back around because there's 201 topics, right? We always talk about what the next level of the topic is. So we're introducing some stuff, and the back end, how to build one, is a whole nother session.
Oh,
And
yeah.
people may want to do that. So it's just a matter of interest.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And Sabrina says she's seen them used on business cards,
Oh, yeah.
That's a
like
good.
for nonprofits.
Ooh-wee. Good times.
So yeah, I think we introduced a lot of stuff today. Everybody was very quiet except in chat. That's okay. I understand the desire to get into chat. So do we have any other link tree questions? Okay, then I'm going to stop sharing.
I have one.
Okay.
Oh.
That's okay. Go ahead.
So we knew that as we were coming up to the No Kings rallies, that there were going to be nationwide rallies all across the country. And for our members that were across the country, we were trying to figure out the best way to give people a streamlined approach to who we are, NWSOFA. And this team came up with this concept, and we have taken that concept and we have created buttons that we wear to these rallies that has the QR code that automatically takes them to the link tree area. We have business cards that let me see if you can see that. It's kind of disappearing into my face. Yeah, you can't see it. So sorry. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah. And so if people click on that. And so this weekend, we had the 3 tables set up at different rallies. We had people coming up asking that fundamental question: what is indivisible? What do you guys do? And so um, to those that were my age, I would talk about the big chicken that we had, and then all of our events. I'd hand them a brochure. To the younger people that showed up, they would simply click on one of these cards. They wouldn't even take the card. They would click on it and then quickly go through it, standing there in front of me. And I'm blabbering on, and they're going, I got it. I got it.
I got it.
And it made you a believer.
Well, I don't know if it made me a believer. I always wonder what they're actually looking at, you know. But it was very cool, and we got a lot of young people that came over, and we had these brochures that had the QR code on. We had big QR codes that people could walk up to, and then they would ask a question. You know, I'm from so and so. Is there any other groups like you by us there? So I understood. Okay, they got it now. What we do, and then I would be an information place, and I'd say yes, in Des Plaines or in Mount Prospect or in Barrington, we have an Indivisible chapter. They're not as large as ours, but they're very active. You should join them for local meetings, and you should join us for our national Zoom meetings. So I became you're right, Stephanie. I became a believer, and now we're just trying to get the message out there in the 2 forms. One, the QR codes, and 2 is the actual link to the Linktree site, because some people, when they put out the QR codes and we sent them out, said, I clicked on it and nothing happens. Well, those are probably older people, because you have to take a picture of it, to have something happen. So now we're putting both, so that we say either click with your camera on this QR code or click here. Both of them take us to that intermediate link tree, which is growing. I mean, it's really cool. And Cecilia, I have a question for you. You seem to move back and forth between the different, new member, Substack, etc., very easily. I find I only can go one direction. Then I have to bring up Linktree again and hit it again. Is doing that?
What do you mean between?
When you brought up Linktree, then
Mhm.
you clicked on new member orientation, and then we could see that. And then you went back and you clicked on the next item. I tend to fall off when I click on to that new member orientation. I cannot get back. So I'm asking how you were able to get back so easily.
New member orientation.
One of the issues, Bill, may be how your browser is set to display. So do you have things displaying in a new page? Because essentially Linktree is a browser and it is taking you to another link. So if you don't have a back button, what you have is another tab that has Linktree open. Go on, Cecilia.
Yeah, because
Ah,
I'm using my back button and are you using your back button?
He doesn't have his iPad. If he's going to hit what, backspace? What's his back button?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Are you using your back button?
I'll let you know in a minute.
And if you don't figure it out, I'll get out the iPad next session and we'll work it out. Because
Okay.
we have resources. We just don't know which ones we need. I see
Thank you.
Elizabeth.
So anyway, this has been great. And I think we had some numbers the other day. Adrian told me that we had 150 clicks. Uh, Adrian, can you confirm that?
100, it was around 148 views, and there may be more than that by now.
Yeah,
Hey.
I'm an aboutist, so always round up. Let's call it 1,000, which is really cool. And then now we're checking to see if people are actually interacting with these sites where they hit. And it appears that our Substack is growing. A couple people are people that signed on and said we'd like to be part of this organization has grown. I mean, it wasn't 100 people; it was 7 so far. But that gives us a chance to call these people, etc. And that is a huge increase from anything we've ever had before. We would get one maybe every 2 or 3 weeks. So this works, and the more we put it out there, the more it should work.
And we will continue to develop the content, the website, the QR codes, because there's a lot that goes into making this be a good landing page so that the content in the clicks is what we want it to be. So yeah, we got it out there. It was a breech birth, to be polite, but we are going to go back and we are going to document what we did and make sure that this becomes a successful and productive launch and a nice fork in the road for NWSOFA so that it can continue to expand, because this seems to be like a reasonable way to go about it. So appreciate you living through the breech birth, Bill, because God knows at the end we all came down to Bill. Can we get this done? And he worked it out. So as always, Bill's our guy.
He holds it all together.
Yep. I
I,
saw Elizabeth's hand.
Yes.
Oh, I just was gonna say, if you guys have any questions, I don't know if I can answer them, but I'll be glad to if you want me to.
We bring folks in
That's all I had to say.
I feel like we've got a recruit in all of this. What do you guys think? I got a Linktree recruit for us. You are there for the next round. 201 is going to be all on you.
All right, then.
okay, my back button does seem to work
Excellent.
There we go.
because
That's how that was.
I'm just moving through here before. Beautiful, beautiful.
All
This is
right.
a thing of beauty.
Yes, it is.
Mwah.
It's beautiful. like I said, I am confident that you were about 10% clear where it was we were going, but God love you. Thank you for the faith in letting us go there because we kind of had an idea, but the ability to mock it up and do all the things you'd normally do, we're a little expedited. So I am glad that you see.
Ooh. All right. Well, we made it to 3 o'clock and nobody like got hurt or fell off or, you
Yeah,
know, we're good.
I
So
think we did wonderfully.
did I hear Stephanie say that she was going to create a podcast, or is that future?
No, Stephanie's going to create a podcast platform so Cecilia and Sabrina can create a podcast so that we can see what podcasting looks like in the hands-on sense. We did the introduction. Now we'll get into the here's what you do. So I would tell you, stay tuned.
Exactly. Yes, Alfeo.
Uh, Back to podcasting, and I'm no expert in any of this, but one of the things that some of the people like Hal Sparks and the other guys are using uh, Open Broadcast Studio, and that has a lot of capabilities in it, and it's free, but it is really a lot to learn. I'll say that, and I learned just enough of it that I can uh, make a local podcast, and I did a couple for WCPT, and what I mainly wanted to do was be able to display what I'm doing on the screen and record it, and I do it locally and then upload it, and also be able to pause so I can, get a thought, do something, and pause it. And
Mhm.
in fact, you should have seen me yelling at the screen when pause stopped working, and I have a nice recording of that, and it's because I changed the output file to an MP3 instead of the file format they had, and that changed the pause option so it didn't work anymore. So lots of little problem, but that's just one of the things that I have now that I use a little bit. So someday I'm going to do a little more of a podcast locally on politics, of course, or on how websites work.
Okay.
Well, we will continue to build out this topic. I promise you. If there is interest, we will do it. So I am thrilled. Maria is here. So you had, I don't know how we're going to sort out what her question was. Maybe it was on Substack. But Maria, can you raise your hand or?
Okay, hold on.
Hi,
Yes,
Maria.
hi there. Yeah, so Cecilia and I were talking yesterday about Substack on how to use it for different things, like for cropping images and stuff like that, since I couldn't do it on my phone.
Actually, I was actually going to help her just pop in images and utilize it to cover her cover faces for
Mm,
from the rally.
okay.
So that's what we're going to help her with today. So,
Okay. Well, then that's what we're going to do. And everybody's welcome to stay if they like, because that's what we're going to navigate our way through. It will be a clear hands-on how-to going forward now for this one. So let's
all
roll.
all
I'll
right.
shut up.
So, with your all right, she's on her phone. And what kind of phone do you have again?
An iPhone, but it's an old
iPhone,
one.
what
10,
make?
10 or
Uh,
11. Yeah,
An
yeah.
an 11. Okay. And that was part of the problem was that it was an older phone. And so when like the editing that I have available, it wasn't working for her.
The new releases of iOS, which are the older phones don't go beyond release 15, 15.6.2.3.7 or some ridiculous number like that. So
Yeah.
your benefits and features that came with the newer iOS, that's where you're having a problem. Carry
Yeah.
on. I'll keep listening.
Yeah. So the some of it was just it was difficult. Some of the editing, she doesn't have those options.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find other options, and I was able to do some editing in Substack,
Okay.
and she had that option. So I told her to come on over.
All right, well, then let's work it through. So are we going to work from Substack? Is that where we're starting? So you have a picture imported and now, okay.
I will be honest, guys, all of you are frozen on my screen right now. So, Stephanie, if you could walk her through this, that would be awesome.
Well, I'm going to do my best, Cecilia. I'm not sure that I can, but I'm going to try. Give me just a second now that I know what the question is. Let
Thank
me
you.
get over to Substack and let me get myself set up a little bit so that we can do this.
I love technology.
Yeah. At least you're still talking, so that's good.
Yeah. You all have really pretty smile. Like Sabrina, your smile is fantastic. Hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I am in Substack, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then you guys are going to tell me what it is, how you're going about doing this, because this is not something that is top of mind for me. So let's go
Ah,
with, did your screen come back?
it did. Okay. I would suggest that
Okay.
you post an article.
Okay. So let's see. So I am going to go to my
Or
dashboard.
like you create an article. Oh no, go
Okay.
back. Or
Oh,
create new.
yeah, I was going to say, I create something. Yeah. So I'm going to create a new, and I'm doing a text post. What am I doing? Anything?
Yeah, no, I like that. Go back.
Go back.
Yeah, go back.
Okay. Where am I going back to?
No,
I know. No,
sorry.
I know. I understand. Hang on a second. Let me navigate there. This is where I run into trouble because I have this.
It was,
And now it's okay. So this is where we were. You want me to go to home?
yes.
Okay.
Create.
Create.
Create. That big orange
Create.
button.
Got it.
Thank you.
Create.
Okay,
Post.
post.
Okay. You have a
Thank
lot
you.
more. It's okay. Thank you. Just tell me how to navigate. I am creating a
Okay.
post.
Now on this, you see up there where that's the picture
Yeah.
next to that. Not that one. That's the not that one.
The
No, to the right.
picture.
Yeah,
You'd like
picture.
it. You'd like to add image?
I would like to add image.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm sitting here pointing at it like you can
I
see my
understand.
finger.
I would love to be sharing my screen with you so we could do that. I
I
have
know.
an image that we can share.
And there we go. That one. Um, and if we were doing that now, you can, yeah. If we were doing that, then if you go up into the upper right hand corner in the picture,
Hang on, because
within
I have to change my screen. I am sorry. I couldn't see this, the upper right corner in the picture.
right, in those three dots,
Yep,
edit image.
got it. So what you're using is the photo editing tools here because your phone is limited.
Exactly. Go
I
over
am
to the left, all the way over
okay.
to the left.
Okay.
There's stickers.
Sticker. And
All the
if
way on
I,
the bottom.
yeah,
You
if I
can
wanted to put
either
a piece of
use
broccoli,
you can use the broccoli and you can make it as big as you want or as little as you want. And you can cover it in broccoli. But you don't have to use those stickers. You can also add as whatever select image. You can pick whatever image you want from your computer, or you can pick it from your phone, because if
oh,
you're on your phone, then you can
sorry.
pick your emojis.
Yes.
The point is you would have at your fingertips whichever, you can pick then what
What it is
whichever
that,
you need.
yeah. And navigating on your phone, you might have to change the source to find pictures, but we could work through all of those elements. But the key point is, see what we covered. So now that we are done and we've got our broccoli here, do we need to save anything?
Over on the upper right hand corner, there's a done.
That big orange button?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Oh,
okay,
so let's just look at it and then we come back.
we'll stay right there. Now, we don't need to continue or publish anything. Like, because we're not really posting this. We're just doing like we're
All we
just
did was we featured the photo editor. So now
right.
Maria will see if she can get to those and we'll go ahead and I'm going to stop sharing so I can see
Okay.
better. And now we're going to ask Maria to tell us if that made sense, huh?
Yes,
We tried.
we
Well, it
tried.
makes sense when I watch you do it, but my phone is not letting me do that kind of thing. I think I really have an old phone here and I
You
need to
do.
get another phone.
You are, yeah, you're trying to use cruise control on a 57 Chevy.
Oh,
That's the problem.
It makes it a little more challenging. So, but
Well,
I'm glad you came, and I'm glad we were able to talk this through. And come back. We'll keep helping you
yeah,
because God
well,
knows we want everybody to be able to do what they need to do.
yeah, well, this mode is motivating me to go get a new phone. It's time. So,
Excellent.
all right,
Because
thank you.
it's safer, it's more secure. It gives you the kinds of things that you want if you're out in public, perhaps attending a rally. Your new phone with the new software is also going to give you security features that you
that's
don't have in that old phone. It causes me pain to know that someone is using a device that can't be updated, because it means if there is any kind of a security breach, you are exposed because something has been identified and potentially can harm you in situations that I can't even foresee. So please go upgrade your phone. That
Okay,
would be
I
my
will.
TED talk. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sorry.
No problem.
All right. Unless we have anything else, I think we've done it, Cecilia.
all right. That's awesome. I I think that was
That's,
deep. That was great,
that was vision forward tech.
considering my screen was completely, yeah, I don't know what happened.
It worked.
It
It
worked.
worked. That's what counts. Unless anybody has anything else, we're done.
All right, Bill, do you have anything?
He's too
No,
excited. He's playing around with Linktree. He's so excited he can barely come back to the meeting. I know that face. That's like, oh my God, I can see what's going on. This thing is magnificent. I can barely stand it. It's so good.
actually, I wasn't doing that, but I
Oh
was
well.
kind of doing that. I Because of upcoming events, we need to drop in those QR codes and those
There.
links to the promotional things. And nothing ever sizes correctly. So I'm
No, it doesn't.
moving them around. But this is a great meeting. I just want to kind of refresh with everybody, particularly those that joined for the first time today and were saying, why am I here? What are they doing? I just want to kind of, the reason we started this was that a group of us that have all really just met ourselves, each other, since the first of the year, uh, as we've expanded NWSOFA nationwide, uh, we started to learn from each other what little tricks and traps that we had learned. And we thought, wouldn't it be great if we kind of address some of these technology things from a perspective of this hands-on how-to, where we have all the oops and the ahs and oh darn, it's frozen type of thing that we all have every day, but in the aspect to make your lives easier, to to give you some ideas on how to use the technology that is out there today to free up some time, maybe a couple hours a day. God knows I need another hour a day or two, uh, and and that's just what we've done. But out of that has grown the concept of making you more efficient, freeing up that time, and giving you the newest technology to utilize for your organizations or groups that you belong to, whether it's 5051, Indivisible, Move On, or your local Democratic group, or a group that is just aligned with our progressive values. If we can make your life a little easier, then this has been well worth it. And for those of you who have stuck on to this, that is great. I will confess that while I'm doing things, my brain doesn't multitask like it used to. So I'll have to go back to this YouTube live stream that we've got on our website, and I have to look up things. And I do that 2 or 3 times a week because I remember that Stephanie talked about it, or Cecilia talked about it, or it's in part of a presentation, and I can narrow it down and I can answer a lot of my questions. So I hope that what we're doing for ourselves has benefited everybody that attends. That's our goal. And every week we will bring some technology. Sometimes we'll tell you what it's going to be, but other times it's just an aha moment that happens during the week, and the team will post something. Have you seen this? Or Bill, have you ever tried this? Or Stephanie says, if I can take that over, I can actually make it make sense to people. So a huge thank you to the team that did the presentations today, that talked about it. A huge thank you to the attendees who asked questions, etc. We look forward to seeing you next week, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Let's see, next week? Yeah, next week we're still in the month. The week after that, we'll probably go to the noon one. We do vary the time, so just to kind of watch that a little bit. Thank you all very much. We're going to sign off now.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Big thank you to Sabrina for coming on, and
Yes.
she's going to be a welcome participant going forward. So I am excited to feature Sabrina at intermittent but scheduled times.
So
Thank
excited.
you.
All right.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
great
much.
day, everyone.
Thank